agenda for today?
I was creating the agenda. I put an icebreaker question. I don't know if you all know, but from today, we have 10 weeks left until the end of this year. Do you know that? Isn't that crazy? So I put that as an icebreaker. So what do you still want to achieve in 2022 with this 10 weeks left? There is a book in psychology that it's been a long time that I want to read that book. And I've been putting that in the side, and I think that's what I want to still finish this year. I think it's gonna be good for me to do that. And to have the proposal done and get the funds for Gravity. I think that's gonna be a big deal for us. I'll pass it to you, Juan. What do you still want to achieve this year?
Well, I would like us to mediate in a conflict that is visible in the Web3 space. I think that we have mediated a lot of conflicts that are mostly from our close communities, but we see this need of conflict management in the wider Web3 space. And I think for this intention that we have of becoming visible and showing the value of our service to get more communities wanting to use our frameworks and processes, I think it would be really cool to participate and in a visible conflict, and that would be also like stepping out from our comfort zone. Also, yeah, at the same things that you said, Bianca, like having this proposal, maybe having the MVP of the web page, and also having like a understanding and more or less agreement on our token strategy. And I'll pass it to Innovator.
Hang on. You just caught me when I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I'm keen to try and see us get to a point where we've got an understanding of a steady revenue stream, and I'm interested in the areas of trust creation when people are bringing in new ideas, as well as the areas to do with conflict when people are heading in different directions. And I'm aware of one conflict right this moment, but that's being dealt with in-house currently. But if it escalates, I don't think it'll escalate, most probably. But I'm aware of it, so it's something that I could invite Gravity to if it got to that point. But I'm kind of keen to see the revenue streams coming in. That's what I'd really like to see. Try and work out where the opportunities are on the trust building side. And I will pass to Lana.
So Lana is actually my friend from Brazil. I'm so happy she's here. Welcome, Ariana. So we were talking about that there is 10 weeks left until the end of the year. And what do you still want to achieve in 2022? This is the icebreaker question for today. If you want to unmute yourself and answer that. If not, it's fine too. Okay. Zepti, do you want to go?
Yeah, sure. Oh, I had my mic not muted. Sorry. I mean, normally my way of life is like, having habits. Those habits are like trains that drive you to places. So it's not like, it's like, oh, I have to do this thing before the year ends. It's like, it will take its time. I mean, first, one thing I want to do is like, get my front lever, but I'm working out every day. So, it's like, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be before 2022, if it's going to take a bit longer, but yeah, my vision of life is like having habits and those drive you where you want to go.
Perfect.
Oh, thanks for sharing. Well, she said that she is having some trouble with her microphone. She can unmute herself.
Okay.
So for today, we want to post the gravity proposal in the TEC forum. We had the last reveals last week and the beginning of this week. Juan, do you want to share your screen then? Because you were with that.
Of course. Well, so this is the template that we've been working on, but like posted in the TC before posting. So I want to make like a collective reading, and like I've been also trying to polish. But if we find something, hello Durgadas, we are like starting this call, and I was proposing to have a quick read on this second funding proposal that we will be submitting to the TC. But also, if you want to say hi or add something to our call, please feel free.
Yeah, just give me a second. I just woke up, so I'll be I'll be with you in a bit.
Perfect. Well, so the proposal title is Gravity DAO, second funding proposal from the TEC. And the TLDR says our goal is for Gravity to be a self-sustainable organization in the midterm. And with this proposal, we want to continue our DAOification process through requesting TEC's common pool funds. We have identified the need for conflict management and trust creation in the wider Web3 space, and see this as an opportunity to steward our working group into a commons, learning and iterating from the TEC frameworks. In the Web3 space. Okay. So the proposal description says, our goal is the creation of our own ethical, safe, and resilient economic system around conflict management as a commons. To do that, we need two things. One, continue DAO community development and provision of services. This is intended to be funded through the TC's common pool. And two, design and launch our economy. We intend to do this through external funding mechanisms. We had written here before the proposal inverter, but I prefer to write external funding mechanisms, because if the proposal inverter like takes too long, we might use another external funding mechanisms, and we have to be creative about this. Also, as I was talking with Sam, he also mentioned that osmotic funding is going to be ready in a couple of months. So we
It's
can...
up! It's ready!
Yeah, is it ready?
Yeah, actually, they have a proposal on One Hive, like it's streaming money to Blossom Labs. It's super cool.
Let me see. Okay, so what I am trying to say is that it's not a straight jacket that we have to use the proposal inverter. There will be multiple funding mechanisms that we can use to plan this of
This one, open this one. Yeah, open this one. Like if you see that it's like not the line of conviction voting and it's streaming money.
streaming.
Yeah, it's so cool. Sorry, I got
nice.
excited.
Oh, this is nice. Well, for the people who is not so much in context, this proposal that we are submitting to the TEC is to have like sustainability of our operational funds and to continue working towards this end goal of launching our own economy. And yeah, what we're saying is that the main funds that we are requesting to the TEC is for us to continue working on looking for more funds and providing our services and continue our DAOification process so that we can gather enough funds through multiple mechanisms to launch our token, to design and launch our token. Which we have already had some initial talks about this, and it would be really interesting to share later a little bit from the ideas and the brainstorming that we've had. So this is really cool. Yeah, we can try to be very creative with these external funding mechanisms. We can also raise funds from participating in grants, hackathons. We can also raise funds through donations or providing our services. So yeah, with this funding, we will have like a safety net to continue working, to have security in our work. But our end goal is not to only receive this money and like don't produce money. Instead of that, our goal is to receive these funds to become more proactive and generate more funds for us and to be able to launch a full economy with a token and a bonding curve. Also having our own gardens for the people who is not so familiar with gardens. This is the Garden app, and the idea of the Garden app is to steward a pool of funds through proposals that receive support. And here it's interesting in these gardens about osmotic funding, and is that the funds don't like go 100% when the proposal is passed. Instead of that, the funds get streamed, and that helps for accountability. So that's really interesting. Well, additional information to add. Here we have our Twitter. We have the link to our page. We have our Giveth project, our Gitcoin grant, and also we've participated in this CLR fund thing that was supposed to start in DevCon, but I don't know what happened. That there is still no project that people can donate to, but and I haven't received any confirmation about this. But hopefully, if everything works great, we should receive at least some funding from this grant that we are participating in from CLR funds. So how does this proposal benefit the community and or the field of token engineering? Gravity becoming a self-sustainable service DAO benefits the TC community by supporting coordination within the social layer of tokenized projects, giving them access to tools we create, information coming from research activities, free conflict management courses, and other types of education and support and for individual well-being. For individual and collective. Here we are referring also to the psychology side and mental health that we are having in Gravity. As Gravity is a product of the TEC, we will provide conflict management services without further cost to this community until June 2023, and in the future the TEC can get Gravity service at a lower cost. This is something that I don't know if it's better to like what do you think about this? Getting TC services at a lower cost. I think it makes sense,
Makes
but
sense. Yeah,
okay.
makes sense to me.
Okay. Gravity can also be shown as a product of the TEC in the way that we are supporting the mission and vision, its mission and vision, by creating a standard for tokenized projects and enable the creation of ethical, safe, and resilient economic systems.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's going back to the phrase of before, like in the future, TC can get Gravity service at a lower cost, of today, or at a lower cost. That's how I understand it, like a lower cost of today, like today because they're paying for the service and also for its deployment. But in the future, they only pay for the service, or they will have a discount. Which would also make sense, but I'm just trying to, yeah.
Would it be more make more sense if we say premium fee instead of lower cost?
Mm-hmm.
Premium fee. Okay, and now we continue with starting from a working group that found a need in the space and now is trying to provide value by tackling that need in a wider range. Gravity is supporting the T field, contributing with knowledge in conflict management, psychology, and decision science field. And this is from the mentioning some of the petals of the crypto economics flower. So where we come from. Here's the link to the first proposal. Starting proposal. I don't know why this shows. Okay. Oh. And this is the link to our first proposal to the TC. Gravity 6-month funding from the TC, and this one is Gravity DAO's second funding proposal. Some of the key differences is that here we were a working group, Gravity 6-month funding from the TC, and here we're trying to become a DAO, Gravity DAO. That's one of the main differences. When our starting proposal was approved in the TC Gardens, we received 51K that have been planned to last until November 2022. Here we present some of the achievements made by Gravity thanks to this initial proposal. Active case mediation. So far, Gravity have mediated 28 cases amongst multiple communities. Psychology research. Bianca and Anna have been working around the idea of implementation of psychology in Web3. Seeing a space and a need for mental care in the DAO space, we got a collaboration with the Universidad of Brazil to develop a survey and publish the research also in an academic way. Graviton training, we had 3 cohorts of the Graviton training. That is a 10-section course that deep dives into tools and skills to prevent and manage conflict management amongst DAO contributors. This course aims to engage people around nonviolent communication, comprehension of conflicts, and techniques to manage it. I don't know if we can write here that we had 3 cohorts from the 51K, because I think that the first cohort was before we even submitted this proposal. So it's something that we've done in all our time, but it's not something that we can say that was 100% funded by the first funding proposal because we had a first training before that. But I think it shouldn't make any conflict.
Well, I think we can also say that we've started up our communications stuff. So I got the hosting yesterday, for example.
Yeah, here we have the website MVP. So everything we can add it here. We have active Gravitons, and we have a website MVP. We've created and bought a domain and installed some of the plugins on the
Juan,
tab of the spreadsheet. Yes, Bianca.
I think it kind of looks out of the shape when you do the website MVP like that because it breaks down the I don't know. Because it still have like other things going down.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have it like as an asterisk as it was before.
Okay. So
Like
but maybe
those other
But we don't have an MVP on the website. Like an MVP would mean like we have a web page we can use, and we don't have it right now.
work in progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
those follow up. I think the 4 it's about the website. Is there a way that you can put it to the right?
Let me see if there's a way. Oh. Maybe like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
We've created and bought a domain, created under as hosting a temporary page. We created a focus matrix to organize and get a clear idea. And not only for our web page, but also for our narrative.
Yeah, for all, marketing communications.
And you can include the
Hosting.
hosting. Yeah.
Perfect. How should we write that? We got a hosting. I don't know what a hosting is. Sorry.
Durgadas, how you wanna explain that?
Yeah, I mean, we basically have started our hosting. I would just say we've basically initialized our whole marketing communications apparatus, because getting hosting is like the beginning of also creating emails and also creating accounts and also purchasing HubSpot and on and on and on. There's so many things. Like, and then we need a Google account to get Google Analytics, and it just goes. There's just within marketing communications by itself, there's like 20 things I'm going to immediately do. Do you know what I'm saying? Like now that we have hosting, so let's see here.
I wrote
Yeah.
initialized our hosting for communication strategies.
Maybe initialized MVP? I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Because initialize, it kind of gets the idea that we didn't do it yet. It's like in progress.
Well, it is.
No, but you already bought it. No?
Well, I mean, we don't have a product so much as we have all of the it's like we bought a shelf from IKEA. We just haven't assembled it yet.
Right.
So
With initialized.
Okay, so I think in the milestones, we refer of launching the MVP of the website. So it makes sense that here we are still talking about the things that we are starting, because with the idea is that with this funding proposal, we deliver some of the things that are still on being built. So let's continue, and then we can make some sense of it. Community building, onboarding new members and helping them to fit their skills to develop the project to grow. During this last proposal, we created Gravity's own email, Twitter, and calendar, which slowly started to make it more independent from the TC. Participation in the Commons Prize. We didn't win, but it was great to see how many people believed in conflict management as a public good. Outreach service, we are actively looking for multiple funding streams. We have our Gitcoin and Giveth page active. We have gained experiences on working with Aragon and other communities. We have also participating in grants. Okay. We had 2 book clubs, 1 practice group, various presentations of Gravity in conferences and in online community events. Gravity is starting to be noticed as like an independent DAO. Twitter Spaces, we had 21 different contributors being rewarded in the work. So how much are we actually requesting? Here is 25K800 because we added the active Gravitons. So we will be requesting 25.
Hey, I'll be right back in a minute here.
Perfect. And how will these funds be used? Let's put this on. These funds are going to be used for the continued development of Gravity DAO. Our intention with this proposal is this proposal to be our last one on the TC in the best. We were talking about this yesterday, Bianca and me. I don't know, Septi, what do you think about this? If we should say that our intention is that this is our last proposal in the TC, but like what happens if the worst case scenario and we don't end up gathering more funds through our external funding mechanisms? Like we are closing ourselves the door to come back to the TC in that worst case scenario. So how should we write that?
Yeah, I agree with you actually. Yeah, I didn't thought about that way, but yeah, makes totally sense. Like, do not close any door. So maybe we just don't, like this one these funds are going to be used to continue development of Gravity's independence, and you let it float there.
Juan?
Yes.
Sorry, I need to go, but I want to ask a quick question. With the website, are we planning to use it reactively? In other words, just point people at it if they ask us? Or are we planning to be more proactive and get search engine optimization and so forth?
I think the first thing you said of being more active, of like, hey, anyone in the Web3 space or any community in the Web3 space, if you have a conflict, go to this page.
Okay, all right. As long as we're not, because search engine optimization is usually expensive and painful.
Yeah, no, it's more of an active thing of like, I always use the word like pivot, and it's like the pivot point. Like right now, people have to go into the TC and then to get into Gravity, but by having our own page, we will be like more accessible to anyone.
Okay, all right. I need to go, but thanks very much. Just something that I don't know whether or not you want to reflect that, but thanks, and I've got to go.
I wrote this in the best case scenario, would be our last proposal to the TC.
Great. See you. Thanks. Bye.
You were saying something, Bianca?
No, I just say thank you, innovator.
So yeah, in the best case scenario, this would be our last proposal to the TC. In the best case scenario, we never know. there is a lot of worst case scenarios.
That makes sense. That's good.
And here we have the budget breakdown. We have budget for case management. We have budget for Graviton trainings. 1 Graviton training. We have budget for 5 roles of managers of work streams. We have funds for active Gravitons that are ambassadors in other communities. And we have also a pool for bounties, which in total adds 25,800. Is that number good? I think so, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's half of the first one, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's half of the first one, but like
It's
these
like
numbers,
also half of the time. So
these numbers match. Like 8.6 multiplied by 3 is 25,800.
Oh, you mean the math? Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's right.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
confirm right now.
8 multiplied by 3 is 24, and 6 multiplied by 3 is 1,800. So yeah, I think it's good.
yeah, it's right.
Yeah, it's correct.
I just did the math.
Okay. Maybe we don't have to write this again. Gravity will be managing conflicts for TC until Q2 of 2023 because we already said it here, right? We already said it here.
But I have one question.
Yes.
Like we said, like these funds are for 3 months, but June 2023 is like in 8 months. So, like if we run out of money, like do we still be providing services to the DC like for free, or what's the?
You're absolutely right, Septi. So should we say until March? March is the third month of 2023.
Yes.
Okay. March.
The idea of saying June would be kind of like to give them like a bonus for funding us, so then they'll get like an extra time as kind of like a free case management from Gravity.
But I understand that maybe if we, in the worst case scenario, if we don't get any more funds, we would like be promising to be doing something without the capacity to do it. So if we say until March, we can like sustain that, but if we say June and like if we don't get any more funding, we would end up like working 3 months for free. So yeah, I agree with that. With like March 2023 would be the best.
There's another solution to that. Like even if if we want to still say June, we should split some funds that will only be used for conflict resolution, and then we should have to cut funds on other work streams. But then we are not doing the job for free. We still doing it until June 2023, and yeah, I mean, I'm just offering another solution.
I think it makes a lot of sense to say March, because at that point we will also hopefully will be more advanced on our token system, and maybe we can make an offer for the communities that buy our token, that we can say that the community that buys our token can have like these services at a premium fee, and somehow that could include the TC.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And for example, that happened in Aragon, that they made some deals to last some things until November, and then they were like out of funds, and then it was a really big like process to honor these commitments. So I think it would be like really hard for us to be in that position of honoring commitments without funds. But I am sure that we will be able to raise some funds.
So then we need to take that phrase extra benefit for TC.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is the resourcing and outflow. I really like how Innovator put this.
Yeah.
Some of the milestones: the fourth Graviton training, analysis of the mental health survey, analysis of the conflict resolution survey, content creation and research, trust creation and educational activities, creation of a proposal of multiple funding streams. To feed our economy. Okay, this is the same. Outreach to multiple DAOs. Also, we can say continue providing conflict management services. So, analysis of the mental health, content creation, trust creation and educational activities, creation of multiple funding streams.
Juan, can you take the off after feed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Outreach to multiple DAOs. To acquire our services, to in different online and in-person events, continue providing. Okay. And also having the website. What does success looks like? Reality success looks like when all the activities planned get executed and we can get the community involved in them. With these funds, we want to finish the website infrastructure and make the analysis of surveys. This goes together with expanding our resources around Web3 so more people know about our offerings. We aim to spread the knowledge of conflict management and well-being within DAOs. By doing it, more communities will have access to our work and be impacted by its growth. Maybe we can polish this a little bit. Let's try to see what ideas can come. Also, having I think something about recognition. Okay. Our resources. When all the activities planned get executed and we can keep the community involved in them. With these funds, we want to get recognition in the Web3 space, finish the web page infrastructure, and make the analysis of surveys. Spending our resources around Web3 so more people know more. more communities to our work and be impacted. Okay, how will we share progress? Progress will be shared in this forum thread and communicated with the audience in the TC community calls. Through the TC forum, we will make updates of the execution of the budget. Through ZenHub, we will keep the track of case managers. Through D-Work, we will have execution of bounties. We will have also the gravity calendar through new generation of Gravitons and feedback loops. Mhm. Okay.
Juan, can you just rephrase that one with the calendar, the gravity calendar? Maybe put like through gravity calendar
Okay, perfect.
execution of the plan activities in our schedule calls.
Okay.
Just like change the
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay. So through our gravity calendar.
mm-hmm.
Perfect.
No, but then you put like the other things after.
After, okay. And the execution of the planet activities. Oh, I think I messed with the. Oh, I don't know how to do that back again.
I can do it on the doc and then you can correct it.
No, here. Through new generations of Gravitons. So for the team information, all Gravitons from the first, second, and third generation can claim bounties, and here is the people who have claimed the POAPs, these POAPs, so we can know. And we will be working with roles and pool of bounties. So we will have 4 roles that will be the active Gravitons, the outreach manager, the coordination manager, the case manager, the operations manager, and the treasury manager. Those will be the only roles that we will have. I will be the outreach and the case manager. Bianca will be the coordination manager. Durgadas will be the operations manager, and Septimus will be the treasury manager. And we will also have a pool of bounties from which we have leading book clubs, creating safe spaces, content creation, practice groups, role plays, continued education activities, complexity bonus, active Gravitons. Ambassador. In our communities, platform maintenance costs, Graviton to Graviton support, research initiatives and proposal iteration, business development bounties, integration, bot development, support ops, and platform management. And I think that this is better at the bottom, where it's writing new bounties can be created based on identified necessities. And what we can write here to separate the active Gravitons and this is to say here the pool for bounties, or some of the bounties we some of the bounties.
I'm thinking like mountains created just like that.
Some of the bounties. And here is like roles.
Or maybe just like bounties.
Yeah, roles and bounties. Perfect. New bounties can be created based on identified necessities and makers of this proposal, Juanca, Bianca, and Septimus. Durgadas, do you want to be included as one of the writers of this proposal?
Sure.
Okay. Perfect. So let's post this.
Oh yeah, it's the moment.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, post it.
Woo!
So with this, I think in 10 days, more or less, maybe the first day of November, we can make the proposal in the gardens. So right now, something that we should do is to redirect people here for people to read this proposal for the advice process. And if we don't have any major drawback, we should be able to post this in the gardens. Yeah, I think in 10 days, and request these funds. So that's how we make this real.
Cool.
Awesome.
Nice.
Give a quick report on my stuff here, just because now that we bought hosting, which was really cheap because of the sale that had going on, so I just went ahead and bought it. I'm having some. I seem to have lost the die that I was sent, so I'm trying to figure out what happened to my 400X die in transit. So maybe Zeptimus can help me with that. I
Yeah,
took
sure.
the morning off, so I can sort that out. But yeah, I'm just I've got to do that also for 40 acres, so I need to get some cash flow going there. But also, yeah, so we purchased a hosting, and in the next meeting for the website, which I think it's I think
Tomorrow?
is it tomorrow?
You
We
change it from today to tomorrow?
Right. So yeah, so I'll try to maybe take the morning off again. I worked a bunch extra over the weekend, so I can do some work on the sites and stuff this next couple of days. So yeah, so we need to continue sort of talking about the underlying sort of technology stack, but I'm going to try to this morning and tomorrow morning before the meeting try to get those things stood up. So the thing is that I have to pay for a transfer of account from my account to our new hosting. So that takes a little bit of time. So they would transfer all the emails I've already created, the entire website as it exists now, the domain, the whole 9 yards. So that's like 15 or 20 bucks. So it's worth doing rather than me doing it all manually. And so at that point, then we can, yeah, just sit down and have a discussion about emails to create, who gets access to those emails, how many super admins we're going to have on the website, should be a minimum of 3 for basically every layer. So we need to kind of figure out that structure. Once that structure is created, then I'll create all those accounts and sort of take myself off any personal email or whatever that I might have on those things, and then we'll have a decentralized sort of control over all of it, and security and things. And we'll just keep sort of building it up. Then I'm probably going to sort of delete the site that exists now, because it was really just more like a demonstrator. I'll rebuild it with WordPress multi-site so that we'll have that. So we'll probably only use in phase 1 here, just as a minimum viable product, we'll probably only use sort of the top level of WordPress multi-site, but then we'll have the other sites that exist for phase 2 and for testing phase 2. So that's why I'm going to kind of do it that way. So yeah, so we're just really getting the bare bones skeleton of it, set up right now, and it'll be basically like a very few things for each of the dashboards. I'm also concurrently working on the 40 acres site, which is going to have very much the same technology stack and just implemented differently for whatever it is that they're doing. They have a lot of the same sort of design goals and things as we do. So yeah, so it could be that it would be good to have kind of a merged meeting next time around. So I might send out a Zoom invite link for the meeting tomorrow in the Gravity channel, just so that we can have both sides participating. Most of them are on the East Coast, so it's a little bit of a
Perfect.
Yes,
I
it'll be
just
like same
so
time it was before, but tomorrow
yeah. So it's what, 10 o'clock or something
before the community
PST,
call.
before the community call.
If you see my screen, like the orange one, it's our the Gravity calendar, our calendar.
Okay.
So it's before the TC community call.
All right. So what? I'm just trying to translate that into my
I think it would be 11 a.m. your time.
11 a.m. my time. Okay, so that's
It's
fine. So
1 p.m. EST.
yeah, so that would be 10 p.m. My time. So, or 10 a.m. my time. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So 10 a.m. tomorrow, we'll have So yeah. So really, the twice a week meetings in terms of specific to the site. What are we doing on the site? We need to have people logging into the site, setting up, two-factor authentication. All of those things will need to come starting next week. So basically, tomorrow's meeting is just about, just me reporting what technical stuff I'd been able to get done and whether or not the transfer of the site has been done or not, that sort of thing. Then we can take a look at the emails I've already created and connect it to the security structure that we're trying to put in place, right? So basically, I think probably the super admins will be ones with personal emails, so you could have like Juan at gravitydao.org or whatever. So whoever's a super admin will get their own personal one, but then they'll also have a role email that they'll use to log into sites. So that way we're not, tying things up. So if you've got an account on HubSpot, for example, you wouldn't use 1k at gravitydao.org. You'd use coordination manager email or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Do you want to schedule the second call for next week? We can do it Tuesday same time. So we'll have it Tuesday and Thursday.
yeah, that's I'd prefer Mondays and Thursdays in that situation, but
And Thursday?
Monday is pretty free. And also, Bianca, I think you can remove the proposal brainstorm session.
Yeah. Yay, we're done with this.
There's other thing that I wanted to say. Yeah, I think, well, we have to um, schedule like these calls if we're going to do it bi-weekly. Yeah, it can be done at any point. But I also wanted to share that there's a big conflict in the Web3 space right now, and is in the Proof of Humanity DAO. And I think that that would be a great opportunity for us to gain experience and visibility by supporting in a visible case. The community right now is splitting and is trying to fork, but the fork is not happening like peacefully and gracefully. Instead of that, it's being very violent. And in DevCon, there were some incidents that triggered more friction and more division within the community. So I think it would be really interesting for us to first start learning a little bit about this conflict, and then also maybe at some point offering them support from Gravity. You can see this that they are having a snapshot vote to remove a mission board member, and also they are having this multiple arguments regarding how should the fork happen, and what does the fork mean, and like who gets what after the fork. So I, for the people that is interested in this, I don't want to post this in the public chat, but I can DM you if you want to know more about this.
mhm.
Can I send it to you, Durgadas? I know you like to read this, and you'll get a see of what is happening in space.
Yeah, I actually feel like we should once the website stuff is going and stops taking up so much space, we should probably have a regular like business development thing, like, hey, here's what I've heard about, this. So just have a thing like this, you know what I mean? So we can talk about, anything we might have heard during the progress of another case, that could mean that we could do some, biz dev work. And then, yeah, so I'm kind of proposing that as a thing,
Perfect. Well, I think we reached the top of this call. I think it was a very proactive call because we managed to publish the proposal in the forum. And also, yeah, I am happy to see you again. Last week at DevCon was something really amazing for me because I've been working for this over 2 years of like having the community ready for the event, and having the event happening with most of the people feeling happy with the results. I feel very relieved. And yeah, I think that now I can focus even more in this project. So I am just happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make it down there.
That's awesome, Juan. Great work there.
Yeah, thanks, Juanca.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
I just
here.
wanna, to wrap up this call, I just want to say that I'm working on this 2 content creation to post in our Medium. Didan did all the work on transcribing. So I put here in this document, I want to do it like, I don't want to post all the information we got because I want to make people also curious about it and make them go there and listen to it, or go to the official transcribing that did. I want to make kind of like kind of like a magazine post where they kind of induce you to go and look more for it. So if you want to contribute, I put the links for it. There's a part 1 and part 2. And just to finish, let's praise. This way we can get more TC and get more voting power for the proposal. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Durgadas. Thank you, Zapti. Thank you, Juan.
Thanks, Bianca, for hosting.
Thank you, Bianca. I am praising right now.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Have a good
Thank-
day.